Where's my team?
They're safe where we left them. That the Scions have stolen the Cortabula is deeply concerning. And to be honest, I'd rather speak with you alone, John Rydick. Your colleagues don't know what it means to be the last of one's kind. You and I are remnants of fallen civilizations. The Kobliad, the Tekon. One dying, one dead. Our species could not be more different, but we both know the meaning of loss. The others wouldn't understand. It's beyond their ability to comprehend.
We're more alike than you might realize, in that we accept the inevitability of loss.
If only you understood the glory of the Tekon Empire's past. Tell me, why spend your days away from your own people when so few of them are left? Why live your life working for this federation to which the Kobliad do not even belong? And submit yourself to their authority? It makes no sense. Not by my logic.
The Federation isn't an authority to be obeyed. At its heart, it's a set of principles meant to ensure the survival and safety of all species, regardless of their origin. You told Riker you'd wait until you were needed. You're needed now. We need you.
As much as it pains me to learn the Cortabula has fallen into the hands of the Scions, my services are not up for offer. To be chosen as a portal was to give one's entire self to the cause of protecting the Tekon Empire. I left behind everything I know, and now you want me to turn against my own people. A betrayal of my oath, and everything I vowed to protect.
Every Tekon that comes back does so by stealing someone's body. They are killing to come back.
What you call bioforming, we thought of as a marginal science. But if these reborn Tekon plan to restore the Empire, is that a disaster to be avoided? Tekonian technology is so advanced, it could save millions of species currently on the brink of extinction, including your own. And at the price of a small few, think of how the many could benefit. Instead, it sounds as if you are reacting out of fear before you have a full understanding of what's at stake. I don't think you've given this full consideration. You may have more to gain than to lose.
You told me your people didn't use bioforming. That's because you knew it was wrong. Wrong to employ on an individual basis, and surely wrong on a galactic scale.
You are correct. The Tekon did not use bioforming on a large scale. That the way these Scions are using it would not have been accepted when the Empire still stood. I'm curious to see these Scions masquerading as true Tekon. So I will go with you, and we shall find them. But when we do, I will judge them myself as a guardian of the Takon, to understand their true intentions, for better or worse.
It's certainly your right to make your own decisions. I won't tell you otherwise.
Very well. I'll return.
Commander!
Hold your fire. I'm all right. He's coming with us.
We assumed the worst.
She's perfectly fine. Now then, shall we?
All right. We can beam up your... Do you have any equipment or tools?
Whoa.
This is all I need.
Away team +1. Ready to beam up.
Four warp cores. That's interesting.
Redundancy. If one goes down in battle, we can still operate.
Makes this more difficult, though.
This ship can maintain warp with half the cores offline. We'll need to disable 3 of them.
Where are the engine schematics? Power flow routing charts.
We're soldiers, not engineers. I thought you would know what to do.
We understand how to operate it under normal conditions, but not the intricacies.
You're in good hands. We can do this.
I trust that you can.
You at least know where we should start?
This way.
What are we dealing with? Really hot. Makes sense, since they've been producing at max output since we left Hotari space.
No ship can run for very long like that. Not before a catastrophic failure hits.
It's right on the edge. We just need to figure out a way to give it a push.
Bet that console down there could tell us a few things. Whatever we do, we need to make sure the Takon can't undo it.
So we need a way to permanently disable the reactors that won't destroy the ship and kill us all in the process.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Warp core ejection. So the question is, how do we make it happen? The safety protocols don't look much different from the Resolute. Breach protection. Reduce output, command override. Cease matter, antimatter flow, command override. Emergency warp core ejection. Computer control.
Even command functions can't override one of the most crucial safety measures.
So the protocol's still active. That's good. Like we saw on the bridge, all 4 warp cores are operating at full capacity. The reactor coolant system is operating at emergency containment levels.
It's just barely keeping the temperature in check.
Maybe we can use that. If it gets this high, their system considers a reactor breach imminent. Looks like if Sensors show a core is about to rupture. The computer will eject it automatically rather than risk a breach.
So we need to increase the warp core's temperatures.
If we destroy the coolant regulators, there won't be anything to keep these reactors from going over.
And it will trigger the ejection. Let's peel these suckers open. I'll take that one.
I'll take the one next to it.
The second you two start dumping cores, the Takan will know we're here.
We'll be vulnerable. Stuck in one place while you work.
We will have to make a stand.
Start thinking about an escape plan. I have a feeling we're gonna need one.
We'll barricade the door. Work quickly.
We might not have our tools, but our phasers can do this in a pinch. We better get this right. If we foul it up and this whole thing goes boom... We don't know how much damage that Cartabula will do if we accidentally crack it open.
There goes the galaxy.
Could be that bad.
We'll get it right.
It's not a Starfleet warp core, but the coolant regulator has to be in here somewhere.
There you are. Time to heat things up.
Warning. Warning. Warp core output at critical level. Ejecting core.
Okay, now they're definitely gonna know we're down here.
Warp core output at critical level. Ejecting core.
Just one more to go.
They're here!
They're cutting through the door. We don't have much time.
Okay, same as before. We just gotta...
Go! Finish!
Hey! Would you mind not shooting at the matter-antimatter reactor?
I'll cover you.
What? No!
Get the word done. We're all dead.
Now... Shoot!
Warp core output at critical level. Ejecting core. Warp drive disengaged. Did it.
You got another way out of here?
I think so. Tosca, can you climb?
I'll see you on the parade grounds of Sorella. my friend. You want me? I'm right here. Not you too.
Calm yourself, child. It will all be better soon. Wake up, Monka Umet. Return to us. Rejoin the flame.
To reclaim what was lost.
Watch this.
I do. I want to remember every moment when I make them pay. But this isn't the end. I will avenge Itasca. Swear to me, you will join me in this.
How about we try to save her?
That's a dream.
As long as she's alive and her memories are still in there, there's still hope.
Hope is what you turn to when you have nothing left you can do. And there's still something I can do for Itasca. And I shall.
There's so much I want to ask you.
There's so little I can tell you. I'm a portal, not a scientist, but I'll certainly do my best. I can only assume this is one of your older starships. One would think, given the importance of your mission, they might send a ship of a more recent vintage.
The Resolute is primarily a research vessel, if that's what you mean. Not a warship.
Although she has been known to hold her own in a fight.
Against what?
Something wrong?
Not at all. The galaxy has grown more diverse since the days of the Tekon Empire.
Because you conquered everyone who didn't look like you.
To the contrary. Most lesser civilizations willingly join the Empire to enjoy the benefits of an advanced way of life. But that expansion came with its own set of problems, so I admire your ability to diversify without creating conflict. That was always our challenge, and perhaps, ultimately, our downfall.
The Federation prides itself on its inclusiveness. I'd say it's one of our greatest strengths.
As the Vulcans say, infinite diversity in infinite combinations.
Interesting. I'd be curious to meet one of these Vulcans. If this is the best you have, then so be it. To locate this scion, Galvan, I'll need full access to your ship's systems.
Full access?
You must be out of your mind.
No, I'm right here, completely in my mind. Given this is merely a research ship, I won't be able to find him without it. Perhaps I should have made that clear up front. I'll need to make certain modifications.
That's going to be a problem.
Then I'm sorry. I'm afraid I won't be able to help you.
We'll talk to Captain Solano about it.
I'll see you on the bridge. Captain Solano, I'd like to introduce you to Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Likewise. I can't say I've ever met a portal before. There is no modern equivalent. Not within the Federation, at least.
We are incredibly lucky that Portal has agreed to join us.
Your first officer makes a very persuasive argument.
So I've noticed. You spent 600,000 years at your post. That certainly takes an uncommon level of dedication.
We all have our duty.
Of course. But I'm curious. You were stationed there in preparation for what, exactly?
Any and all threats to the Empire.
An empire that no longer exists. Which suggests you weren't very successful.
You said you needed my help. I didn't come here to be insulted. Perhaps that was a mistake. I'd be happy to return to Delphi Ardu at any time.
You'll have to forgive him. I'm sure he meant nothing by it.
I know exactly what he meant. His disrespect speaks for itself.
I'm merely curious where your allegiances might lie. And clearly it's with the Takan.
Yes, Captain. You have found me out and exposed my true loyalties. To the Takan, not to the Scions of the Flame, who do nothing more than tarnish us in name and reputation and don't deserve to be called Takan. That's why I'm here. And if you'd be so kind as to give me access to your ship's systems, we can get on with it. And you can stop wasting my time.
Access to our systems? That's completely out of the question. Tell me that's not what you promised. We're vulnerable enough as it is. And now we're supposed to give him access to everything? Ridiculous.
Captain, I know it's a risk. But right now it's our best shot at finding Galvin and that ship.
She warned me there might be resistance. But I never thought it'd be rooted in so much ignorance bordering on incompetence.
If you're not enjoying your visit to our ship, we'd be more than happy to let you wither away back on your pathetic little rock.
Captain?
You clearly do not appreciate the magnitude of the threat the Scions pose. So myopic is your focus on your own ego. I will not be leaving until they have been found.
Commander Rydek, a word.
And to think, I waited 600,000 years for this.
You realize that's supposed to be in an incredibly difficult position. I was against seeking him out from the start, but now, to give him access to our systems? It's insane. And you somehow expect me to believe his allegiance is with us? You heard what he said in there. There's no way we can trust him.
I might otherwise agree, but you're missing the most important point. He's a Takan, and he may be loyal to the Takan, but not to the Scions of the Flame. He's against everything they believe in. You heard what he said.
There's too much at stake to be wrong on this.
We sought him out for a reason. To help him find our missing crew, Galvin, and those Elydian ships. This is the plan we agreed to with Ambassador Spock.
Which I never liked. But here we are. You know what this mission means to us. Not just for the Federation, but for me personally. I can't afford another screw-up. Losing the shield algorithms was bad enough. This could be the end of my career.
I'm sorry, Captain. You know I support you, but millions of lives and the future of the Federation are at stake here. Both of which are more important right now than your career.
It's not just mine. It's both of ours.
Then so be it.
I'm going to trust your instincts on this one. I just hope you're right. For both of our sakes. Let me know if you find anything.
We're good. You may begin.
I will, of course, have to make a few modifications.
What kind of modifications?
To find Taconian technology requires Taconian technology. If this Scion Gallivan modified his ships, then I must do likewise to yours. The galaxy is nearly infinite in size and complexity. This may take a moment.
How long
I
will it
found
take?
something. There you are.
What is it? Galvin?
Someone is using Taconian technology. I can't get the precise bearings, but it's located in the Palisades cluster.
I'll let the captain know. Riding to Solano. I think Portal may have located Galvin.
I'll be right there.
I'm getting all kinds of interference. Almost impossible to lock on the energy signature.
Where's he hiding?
In the Palisades cluster.
Interesting. Can you lock in on the location?
Not until you get me closer.
Lieutenant Handar, set a course for the Palisades cluster.
Aye, Captain.
Well, I suppose I owe you an apology. You were right after all. That's what I get for questioning the advice of my first officer. You always have my back.
They say the true measure of a leader is being able to admit your mistakes. So thank you.
Next time I'll do a better job of listening. Nice work. Let me know if you find anything more.
Will do. What's wrong?
I didn't want to say anything until I was certain. But the reason for the interference is simple. There's a Taconian device on this ship being used to block the signal. Whoever planted it was exceptionally clever. They knew how and where to hide it. But they have underestimated my abilities.
Engineering.
Take care of the Taconian device, and I can find Galvan for you. It's designed to interfere with all transmissions, or at least delay and confuse the effort to find Galvan's ship.
Why would you trust me with this?
I cannot be sure I trust anyone on this ship, but you and I came to an understanding on Delphi R2. That will have to be enough.
Don't worry, I'll get this fixed. We're going to find that ship. Engineers would have found this device already if it wasn't well hidden. Better to rely on my tricorder. There's a lot of noise in here. I should scan the device putting out the most radiation to filter it out. That's better. Most other radiation sources in here are well contained. There's definitely tetrametric radiation nearby. But even with the gain boosted, it's getting drowned out by other sources of radiation in here. A little bit of harmless radiation leakage here, but enough to mask the tetrametric pulses. Easy enough to cancel out. There's still something drowning out the tetrametric radiation. I need to find it so I could filter it out as well. Jeffrey's tubes thump harmonics from all over the ship. I'll filter that out. There we go. I'm getting a clear tetrametric signal now. Found it.
Excuse me. Do you belong here? Commander Rydek. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you.
Paul. Calloway, right?
Yes. You know, it means a lot that you remembered. What, are you doing back here? I don't mean to pry, but first officers don't usually go digging around engineering compartments.
Just a routine systems check. We've been having problems with our comms lately.
Ah, that's news to me. I haven't heard anything about it.
Probably because the comm system isn't working. Have you seen anyone else in here recently that might seem out of the ordinary? Maybe someone who doesn't work in engineering.
Not that I can think of, but I can ask around. I'm here almost all the time, but maybe someone else noticed something?
That would be great. Just be discreet about it. I don't want anyone to be alarmed.
Discretion is my specialty. Well, I'll leave you alone already. Oh, come to think of it, that Hotari woman was down here earlier with Dr. Duvall finishing the last of the bioscans.
Tylus?
That would be out of the ordinary, right?
Thank you. Maybe Tylus saw something. Tylus, can I speak to you for a moment?
Of course. Is something wrong?
There's something happening. I may need your help. This is important.
How can I help?
When you were in engineering with Dr. Duvall, did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Or anyone?
Not particularly. Why?
I found this, hidden in a compartment down there.
That's Taconian technology. Does that mean there's a scion on board? But Dr. Duvall bioscanned everyone. Every deck, every crew member, I've seen the logs. She couldn't have been more thorough.
Someone evaded detection and planted that device.
Which would mean they've been with us this whole time. Watching, listening.
All the more reason why we have to find them.
It could be anyone.
That includes both of us.
You want me to get scanned? Better to know for sure, right? I'll admit, I was around the Scions as much as anybody.
You don't have to do that. I trust you.
If it makes you feel any better, it's not me, I promise you.
I know.
But that doesn't mean it's not you.
Okay.
Clear.
Don't sound so surprised.
You spend plenty of time with the Scions as well. You never know.
Let's get to it. The search starts in engineering. Whoever planted the device most likely did it within the last few hours. So I'll start by running a scan, tracking everyone who came through engineering over the last day, in reverse order.
This could take forever to sort through the number of people that were in engineering.
Filtering for outliers. People who don't work in engineering.
That helps.
I'll filter out the duplicates.
Now this is manageable.
Cross-referencing this list with everyone who's traveled to Hotari. Let's see who's left. No, this can't be right.
What?
Of the people that went to Hotari and visited engineering, it could only have been Captain Solano.
According to this, he was here while you went down to Delphi RD4. Which would have been the perfect opportunity. And no one would question him. He's the captain.
As much as I hate to admit it, assuming it's true, it does explain why he was so opposed to getting help from Portal.
And he made several trips to Otari, so they had plenty of opportunity to target him.
What happened when Dr. Duval bioscanned Captain Solano?
That's just it. She never did.
How is that possible?
Something more urgent would always come up. There was nothing she could do. But performing a bioscan is the only way to be absolutely sure.
That's not going to be easy. First thing I need to do is get this device to Portal.
Be careful. And good luck.
I'll need it. I've found the device.
Interference is gone. I have located Galvin's ship more precisely. He's in the Usonia system.
So then it worked.
This whole region was one of the most sacred for the ancient Takan. What many consider the birthplace of our civilization. See these comets and planetoids in the outer orbits? Based on their current trajectory, that's Galvin's destination. And legend tells us it's the location of what was once our largest arsenal. Not that we needed it in the late stages of the Empire, but it was there as a precaution nonetheless.
What kind of weapons are in this arsenal?
It's difficult to know what would have survived from the time of the Empire, but be assured that the damage they have done so far by altering your current technology will be minuscule compared to proper Draconian firepower. If Galvin and the other Scions secure the arsenal, they will become extremely dangerous. My people had such power at the height of the Empire. The Takan were as gods, keeping absolute control over countless worlds. I must speak with them directly. However, the presence of this device is worrying. It's highly likely it was placed here by a Scion, hidden among your crew, and it is unlikely this interference device was the Scion saboteur's only trap. If we reach Galvin and the saboteur cripples your ship, we will be at their mercy. Even my powers will not be able to protect us. Do you know who it is? They may well do more damage if left alone. Time is not on your side.
I'm fairly convinced they bioformed Captain Solano.
I knew there was a reason I didn't like him. That explains it. Bioforming was so rare at the time of the Empire that I am not able to detect if it has taken place. Proof of your claim is something you will have to produce yourself.
Then we have to bioscan him. I'll talk to Dr. Duval.
That's quite the claim. Last time we spoke, you said Solano was perfectly fine.
I wouldn't be asking you if there was any other possibility.
That would explain why Solano has been too busy for a bioscan lately.
As the ship's doctor, you have the authority to declare him unfit to serve.
If you're right, this is the worst-case scenario. Challenging your own captain is a tall order. Are you sure you're prepared for this? If you fail, that's it. The end of your career. Maybe your life.
I am. I have to be.
Good. You know what this is going to take. I'm in. But we can't pull this off with just the two of us. I technically have the authority to make Solano undergo a scan, but in reality, he can and will refuse to do it. We need at least another member of the senior staff to support your claim, or this could all blow up in our faces. You better think long and hard about who you can trust.
Down to one reactor. Thought we'd be stopped dead. At least stuck at impulse power.
The Takan enhancements must be able to brute force limited bursts of warp output.
Yeah. they won't get to wherever they were headed at this rate. They're just limping along now.
So where does that put us?
Maybe I can answer that. I got the ship's heading.
They've changed course. Drastically.
Looks like they're headed here. Usonia system. They might stop there.
Can we use the Zeldi's comms to signal your fleet?
Comm systems are locked.
Grab hold!
Oh!
The inertial dampeners can barely keep up. If they keep forcing this ship to make these short warp jumps, they're going to tear it apart.
Zeldi is still made by a Lydian hand, despite all this Takan corruption. We'll hold.
We just gotta stay safe until Starfleet can find us.
Your people. Is there somewhere you go when you die?
Life after death? No. On my homeworld, some people think they can cheat death in a way by joining with the Trill symbiont. But that's not a life to me.
What about you? Is there another plane of existence for you? With every passing battle, as I get older,
I believe there's an afterlife.
You do?
Yeah.
then you should understand this. My people have a special journey. When Lydians die, we rejoin our comrades, family, and ancestors.
On the parade grounds of Cirella?
That is just one part of it, but yes. Death is not the end for us. So, even if some part of Itasca remains, by letting the Takan use her body, at best we are delaying the inevitable next step for her. At worst, we are leaving her as a prisoner in her own mind. You want to save the transformed. So do I.
Now that I've seen it happen, does it make me a hypocrite to say he has a point? What if we can't get them back? We can't leave them like that, right?
I think Itasca would want to be released. To think of what she could be going through right now.
I know it's awful to think about, but if they're still alive, we can still try to help them. We lose that option once they're dead.
I had a sister, a twin. It's very rare among the Trill.
You never told me that.
She was one of the youngest hosts to ever join with the symbiont. A sentient creature that lives in our body. It's considered a great honor. The symbiont can bring centuries of knowledge and wisdom to the host. But sometimes, the symbiont personality suppresses the host entirely. My sister was the closest person in the world to me. I knew she would be different after joining. But she drew more and more distant. The room we shared growing up was foreign to the both of us. And eventually she, or whoever she'd become, cut me out entirely. So I left for Starfleet and swore I'd never go back. I couldn't stand the thought of seeing her. Someone who looked like my sister. Sounded like her. But wasn't.
You should try to see her again. When all this is over. Maybe things have changed for her after you've been away for years.
I couldn't go back. Not now.
You remind me of Itasca.
I do?
Bonds are not made by what runs through your veins, but the blood you spilled together. Itasca was my family in that way. I want you to know there is nothing I won't sacrifice to win this fight. But if we're lucky enough to survive, I'd be honored if you'd count me as one of your tribe. As Itasca was.
Even a couple of engineers like us?
You are many things.
I don't need to wait that long. We've bled together. No one else will know what we've been through. That makes us a tribe. Right here.
I'll take that.
They not cease this madness.
What is this place?
Is that the Veskar?
Another one of yours?
Not anymore. They've corrupted it, just like the Zeldi.
Now there are 2 ships. Did this just get better, or worse?
It certainly doesn't bode well for the crew of the Veskar. So many lives stolen.
We're really at the heart of this fight now. We just gotta figure out what we're gonna do about it.
This doesn't look like the Ophelia. What are they doing here?
You don't think they're just meeting their buddies?
Maybe, but then why are their buddies here?
Prepare for transfer.
The storm! It's back! What happened?
Hold on. Scanning. Astrometric radiation is dropping. Zeldi's dropped to minimal power levels.
It's running off just the one warp core now.
That means...
They've sent the Cartabula to that other ship.
Something wrong, Captain?
No, nothing's wrong. In fact, I was just going to call for you. I'm needed down in engineering. The bridge is yours.
Lieutenant Bedrosian, a word, please.
Yes, Commander. What can I do for you?
Listen, the captain may have been compromised.
What?
I have every reason to believe he has been bioformed and is now actively working against us.
Hold on. This makes no sense. Did Portal do something to you?
I'm dead serious. Someone is sabotaging the mission. They planted a Taconian device in engineering. Captain Solano was in engineering while we were on Delphi Ardu 4, and he purposely evaded Dr. Duval's bioscan. He's not Captain Solano anymore. He's a Scion.
Which would make you Captain. So you're saying you're taking command of the ship? Because if you are, that's one hell of a bold move. And you better be absolutely sure you have your facts straight.
As first officer, it is my duty and responsibility to protect the interests of the ship and its crew when the captain has been compromised.
I get that part. I read the manual. But without proof, you're talking about mutiny.
I have Duval's support. We're going to ask the captain to undergo a bioscan. When he refuses, I need you to back me up.
Back when we were on the shuttle, you chose my safety over the lives of a dozen Illydians. I've wondered again and again if I deserved that. If you made the right call. But if it's why I'm here now, able to help you save the Resolute, maybe the whole Federation, then I'm glad you did. My answer is yes. I'm with you no matter what. When do we act?
Now. Dr. Duvall is already on the bridge.
All right. I'm ready.
It's now or never.
Captain Solano.
Commander Rydek, we need to talk about... Doctor? What brings you to the bridge?
Just a bit of housekeeping. You owe me a bioscan, Captain.
I don't have time for that right now.
It will only take a moment. I can't put this off any longer.
You can, and you will. All you'll find is that I'm quite reasonably under stress given the circumstances, and you aren't making it better. I'll find you in sickbay when I'm good and ready. Or, if you're gonna stand in the way of the mission, I can find you in the brig instead.
It's merely protocol, Captain. All officers that touch alien soil have to be bioscanned.
I know the protocol. It's not more important than chasing down these Taconian marauders.
Commander Rydek is right, Captain. We all have to follow the rules.
What is this?
We need you to comply with the scan, Captain.
That's enough. Drop this. All of you. I'm giving you a direct order, Commander Rydek. Stand down and go back to your post. Now. Do not make me tell you again. I've been a starship captain since before you were in the academy.
This is for your own good, Captain.
This is for your own good as well. Security to the bridge. Arrest Commander Rydek. Take her to the brig.
On what charge?
Conspiring with the enemy and mutiny.
Get back. Give her a chance to speak. Let's hear what she has to say.
That's enough, Lieutenant Bedrosian. Step aside or you'll join her in the brig.
No.
This is not Captain Solano. He's been bioformed. He's a scion.
You're out of your mind.
She can prove it.
He sabotaged our efforts to track Galvin with this. He planted it in engineering while we were down on Delphi Ardu 4.
Lies! Perpetrated by the only Takan in our midst, Portal 6-3. He's actively trying to divide us from within.
Captain Solano has refused to be bioscanned because he knows it will reveal he's a scion.
Take her to the brig, or I'll do it myself. Oh!
Wait! Stand down! That's an order!
What is the meaning of this? Everyone hold until we get answers. This cannot happen on the bridge of a Federation starship.
He's not Captain Solano any longer. We have a duty and responsibility to relieve him of command.
If you're wrong, there's no coming back from this.
I'm going to settle this once and for all.
Commander Rydek was right. Captain Solano has been compromised. He's been bioformed into a Takan.